Hey, what's going on? Welcome to J Class Anime Talk, and today we'll be discussing Asta's Demon Slayer sword. Now, this will be the start of a series where I explain each sword that Asta was given to in the series. And if you are an only anime watcher, this video will contain some slight spoilers, but that will be only towards the end of the video. Before we get into this discussion, if you are enjoying the content, make sure to smash the like button for me. It will help this video a lot. Now, let's talk about Asta's Demon Slayer sword. We will also talk about the power of it and its weakness after this intro. Now, in a world full of magic, of people who are loved by Mana, nothing beats anti-magic. You know, a lot of people who watch the series and even the characters in the show say that Asta is not special, but that is exactly what makes him special. His anti-magic energy and his anti-magic swords, and his Demon Slayer sword was the first sword we seen. Asta having no mana made him very different from the characters, but when we seen him have a sword, that made him very unique. Now, out of all of Asta's anti-magic sword, the Demon Slayer sword is by far the heaviest. A dirty, rusty, ancient sword that was formerly used by an elf. Now, we did see Asta finally use the sword in episode 2 when he took out Revchi, but that sword was not easy to use for Asta. The sword was very heavy, on top of the fact that Asta really had no swordsmanship skill. Asta Master Fanzu taught Asta the capabilities of using a sword and how to wield a sword that is very heavy. He told him that his toes needed to be in the same direction where his sword was pointing, because often when Asta swings his Demon Slayer sword, he becomes unbalanced. So if it wasn't for Fanzu, Asta would have had a rough time trying to become a magic knight. Now, with the edge of the sword, it is able to cut any sort of magic. There is no limit. Anything that has magic involved, Asta can cut it. He's a lifesaver for the Black Bulls, because when Noelle was drowning in her own magic, Asta was there to save her. And when the sword is flat, Asta cannot cut the magic, but he can deflect the magic and send it right back to his opponent. That is what makes the sword more dangerous, because Asta can send it back with accuracy. Now, probably the greatest thing about this sword is that there is a constant anti-magic flow going through the sword, and since Asta has no magic, he can remove a magic curse or a spell that is inflicted on him, and will completely remove the spell, where 99% of people in Black Clover would have been in some deep trouble because they would have been stuck with that curse on their face. Now, the hilt of the sword also allows him to remove binding memory spells or anyone that is mind controlled by magic. Not do. But this sword has a major weakness. Even if it's an anti-magic sword in a world full of magic, whenever Asta is fighting someone who is much faster than him, mages who have great magic speed, that can utilize their long range attacks at a fast rate, Asta is at a complete disadvantage. We've seen that when Asta was fighting Mars in the dungeon before he got his second sword, which I will explain the second sword in another video. Another showcase of that is when Rades was attacking the capital with his zombified magic creatures. His zombie creature Jimmy was able to send out fast and multiple attack spells where Asta could not keep up. Asta is often forced to use his second sword when his first Demon Slayer sword cannot keep up with an opponent. His Demon Slayer sword is still powerful and still sharp enough to stab through anyone, but the disadvantage is that it's too heavy and it's too slow. That is why in most cases when Asta becomes Black Asta, he gains back the advantage or even playing field when he's using his Demon Slayer sword, because Black Asta increases speed, creating fast powerful attacks with the Demon Slayer sword like Black Meteorite and Black Hurricane. Now, this is where we get, but if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you, but if you want to stick around, then let's get far. The most powerful we've seen his Demon Slayer sword. I even did an explain video on his new power, so if you have not seen that video, I'll leave it on the top right hand corner. But with his amped up the strongest character we've seen in Black Clover, he's able to take on the first Wizard King, Lake, Yuno, Patri, and Asta at the same time. When Asta was losing control of his Demon Slayer sword, the first Wizard King Lumiere tried to help Asta, but the energy off of the sword was able to hit Lumiere out of the way, and it zapped out all his magic for a little while. That is the power of that anti-magic sword, because in the anime we only seen him cut magic or send it back. We never seen him able to hit someone with the sword and it was able to take away their magic. And the name of this power is called Anti-Magic Demon Slayer Sword Black Divider. Now, in the most recent chapter, we seen Asta was able to stab the devil with it, and once that happened, the devil lost complete control. But we really don't know everything about this new power that he obtained because it's so new and we didn't see the full potential yet. See, like, the full potential of this sword in the next chapter. So yeah, that is, this video may be updated in a year to come because Asa just keep getting new powers. But subscribe, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.